Them Damn Mexicans presents TDM Talk.
What's up, everybody, man? Thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of TDM Talk. I am your host, David, of Them Damn Mexicans. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as you've been doing, man. Thank you for all the love. Shout out to our viewers in the UK and Canada, man. Thank you guys for tuning in all the way out there. Today, we have a special guest and co-host. My co-host is the amazing one, Amazing Ike.
What's poppin', man? Good to be here.
And our guest is TypeShyt. TypeShyt. Dude, you got to do the TypeShyt.
Oh, TypeShyt.
There you go.
I'm gonna fuck something up. Don't ask me to move my arms too much.
How's it going?
It's going.
We got to act like we don't talk every day. So
Right.
we got to it feels weird because it's like, well, we talk every day. We already know what's
done
going
in the
on.
last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
No,
What have we, so what were you doing outside in the lobby? Nah.
talking too loud apparently.
Oh, what's been up?
As far as like life, like do
Yeah.
you want to know like what's going on?
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit
stressed.
about life. She's like, I'm stressed the fuck out.
Life's been pretty good. It's been getting better for the last couple years. I know there's bumps in the road every now and then with life, with everybody, but right now I feel like I'm on a little bit of a high. So
That's what's up. I know when I was looking actually at the pictures from when we first met. That was about 2 years ago. And I saw you perform, and I was just like, yeah, she definitely got it, you know?
TypeShyt.
Yeah, TypeShyt.
Yeah.
She definitely got it. You know, we be saying, like, when I talk to Mike Garza, sometimes he'll be like, yeah, on some TypeShyt. And he's like, oh, wait, he starts laughing.
TypeShyt.
Yeah, because he's not really saying you, but he's saying
Yeah.
the TypeShyt, you know? And, but I do remember our conversations in the beginning about, you know, wanting to work together or whatever, and it didn't actually pan out at the beginning. But fast forward a year or two later, and we have, you know, I was pretty upfront with it. I was like, what's up?
Yeah, you meant all business, no play. You were like, okay, look, here's what I'm doing. Are you down or what? And I was like, I'm with it. Let's go.
I had the gun pointed to him.
He did. He really
Works every
did.
time, bro.
So talk about a little bit about that, like your situation at the time when you turned me down the first time.
Oh, don't say
You
it
broke-
like that.
When you broke my heart the first time.
Nah, so my situation, I just got out of a situation. And at this point in my life, like at first I was really upset, but at this point in my life, I'm like, it is what it is. You live and you learn. I'm not gonna sit here and bash nobody, but at the end of the day, I wasn't in a good situation. I didn't feel I was being benefited. Yeah, there were good moments. Yeah, there were great times, but at the end of it all, I didn't feel like a lot of things were beneficial to me. I felt like in the situation that I was in, I was more of a good use for the benefit of someone else. So when I veered off from that, I'm not going to go into detail about everything that was done or said or any of that. Like, again, I'm not here to bash nobody, but at the end of the day, I needed somebody who had the same vision as me, who was willing to work as hard as I felt like I was working, and, you know, help me. And if they couldn't help me, then I wasn't going to be with it no more. I was like, well, I'll just help myself. But being by myself since then until now, it's hard. It's very hard, not just as far as the music part aspect of it, but just my life in general, because I already do got a lot going on, and I can't be around anything that isn't going to help me, you know, or benefit me. And I know I hate to say it to make it sound like that, but at the end of the day, everything that you're in, everything that you're involved around, it has to benefit, vice versa, you know? And I definitely did not feel like that was the case. So the little time that I took from that, just being in that situation alone, and then from then until today, or whenever you hit me up again, I felt like I learned a lot of things. I got to learn what was good for me, what wasn't good for me, who I should be around, who I shouldn't be around. Because at the end of the day, you do have to be like that, especially in the music industry.
You do. That is very important that you do that, because I went through a lot of the same things. I had a lot of people around me that I thought this is this is it. This is the team. This is, you know, and ended up not even being that, you know.
Yeah.
And so I understand completely about having the right people behind you or beside you, really, more than anything, because you got to have that support system. We just interviewed De Jesus not too long ago,
Shout
And we-
out to De Jesus.
Yeah, and we talked about the importance of having a team, and because it's so hard independently to do. I mean, if you can name me one artist that did it by themselves, let me know.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I'm saying?
that's exactly what me and Anna were talking about on the drive up here. I was like, independent artists, you can say you're independent all day, but at the end of the day, you're not. You're not. You being independent, if you did it completely all by yourself, it wouldn't be possible. I just don't think it can be possible. But if you have people behind you that, have the same vision, the same goal for not just you, but for everybody involved in your circle, that's the best way to make it. But independent is not fully independent.
Yeah, it's like a team thing. The artist is like it's the quarterback. You
You're
know
just
what
the
I'm saying?
face,
Yeah,
the
but
the
the
creator.
manager, everybody play an important role.
Facts.
So yeah, nobody
The-
do it alone.
And that's one thing I've always said. Like, I feel like, okay, I have the game plan, right? It's like a blueprint or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just need the players.
Yeah, you
know?
got
Yeah.
the playbook already.
I got the playbook. I got
Mhm.
the plays. I already know this is what we're gonna do. We just need to put who in, because trust me, the spots that you got, and for those that don't know, we all three of us here are working together as
Facts.
them damn Mexicans under that umbrella. But there was other people before that had that spot, and it happens though. You got people that will use the platform to their benefit
Yeah,
until
get
they
what
no
they can
longer
get out of
get what they can get out of it, so to speak. So what is something that in your initial situation, and again, you don't have to go into too much detail,
Mhm.
but that you felt you weren't getting that you might be getting now?
So I don't mean to make it sound like, oh, it had to be about me, because it's me. I'm the artist. Because there was two other artists on my team, and then of course he was trying to add a fourth, and I'm like, okay, look, you got a plate, and I'm not here to tell you what to do, because you're the boss.
But was
But
it all
Focus
the
on what you
same?
got.
Were y'all like, was y'all all just like in the same genre of music, or was it like different? Because like, and I say that because like in our situation, we got Ike, you, and Mike Garza.
Mhm.
I think y'all two are more similar, but male and female though.
Yeah,
And then Mike is in a different
A whole
lane in
different-
itself. So it doesn't. There's no conflict of interest, at least to me. But if all of y'all did the same style of music, then it would be a problem. I
Yeah.
think.
and that's the thing is, I don't feel. I mean, maybe, but I feel like we all could have fit, because I made music with these people. Like, I have a song that I'm on. I was just a feature on, and I was on it with the other artists and Kirk Bangs, and the song was beautiful. Like, it's out too. You can go find that. I'll show it to you. It's a great song.
Plug it. What's the
Um,
name of it?
So it's all, what is it called?
It's just like,
I don't even listen to it anymore. But even that's neither here nor there. We all fit together if we created together. But my thing, I felt real like, yeah, they would throw a little bit focus on me, and then it was all about the favorite. I've is what we would say, the favorite artist, which is okay, cool, whatever. But I always felt like I was brought in when my talents were needed. There were times where I would say something, I would contribute to a team, and this is what I like about TDM, because if somebody has an idea, we all listen to it, we all work around it, we all try to get it in motion together. I had ideas, or I had opinions, or I had something I didn't like in the team that I was in, and it was like, no,
Overruled.
shut down,
Yeah.
overruled. I couldn't do anything. So I mean, to the point where my management, I remember I said something, and that was kind of like not just sticking up for myself, but for the whole team.
Yeah.
And I was, I guess, put in time out for 2 weeks. I wasn't talked to for 2 weeks. I wasn't getting nothing booked. I wasn't. So when that,
Damn.
So when that happened occasionally, I was like,
was it Suge Knight?
it felt like Suge Knight. Nah, but when it happened, occasionally, I just kind of, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. I'm gonna go ahead and just book my own stuff. And then that's when I fell into meeting like Lopez and Losi and all of them. And I was like, oh, like I can make my own connections. Clearly, I can go and do what I need to do by myself. And once I started becoming more independently doing that myself, because I hadn't booked myself shows,
Yeah.
people would ask me, and I was either okay, I'm in, or I can't. And he was supposed to be doing all that for me. So whenever he stopped doing it because he didn't like something I said, I was like, this is not a healthy situation for me to be in. The last show that I actually did with them, it was an event for one of the artists, the favorite. And I went up, and the DJ cut me off in the middle of my set. Cut off the music. I was upset,
Damn.
and my team was kind of just like letting it happen. I was on stage. I looked stupid after they cut.
That's
Now,
wild.
now a lot of the crowd, the event was packed out, and a lot of the crowd, as I was walked up, because I kind of threw the mic at the DJ. I would never do that again, and I'm
Kinda.
sorry, but I was very upset. So I was like, I wasn't done, and they were like, and they cut off my mic right after. I was like, hey, I wasn't done. They cut off my mic, and then he was just like, doing the little effects and try to move on, and I was like, what the hell? And I went outside. I was like, I'm out of here. I took everybody, actually Lopez, and then we're at that event. They came to show love and support. And I told them what was going on, and they seen what happened. They were all up front while I was on stage. They seen everything that happened. They saw that my management was recording as everything was happening. And that's what hurt me the most. I didn't care if the DJ don't owe me nothing, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that I didn't feel backed up, that was the last time. That was my last straw. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And he knew because he didn't come talk to me until he thought maybe I would warm up to him. When he still came to talk, it was like a week or two later.
What's crazy about that is, so I remember when we talked about when I tried to initially work with you, and then it didn't happen, and then I noticed that you went through a series of events, like not just
God.
not just career wise, but just life in general. Like
back to back.
because I
It
know
was
every
not
so often I
fun.
would text you like, "Hey, you good? You know how's everything? You know?" Because I know how it is when things are happening. You're kind of like, I don't really want to talk to nobody. Like, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about
Yeah, we can.
because the fact that
Yeah.
you're out, you're back out, and you're doing your thing, and I feel stronger than ever after going through that. People, I think, can learn from that. I think it'd be a
Most
good testimony. You know.
Most definitely. After that, a lot of things happened. What's it called? Like, we'll start with my dad lost his job, and where we were staying. I mean, I was contributing. I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 4. If nobody knew that, and my kids are still little. So, and their dad isn't around, and I kind of. After my dad lost his job, I couldn't take care of everything by myself. So we had to move out. We were living in one room in my uncle's house. And then while that was happening, I went through a breakup because I found out I got cheated on, and it was in front of my face.
Man.
And then 2 days later, I get news at work while I'm at work. Oh, and I'm in trouble at work too. Like, I'm just not focused at work. I'm on probation at work. And then I'm at work and I get a phone call from my dad. Well, my stepdad, but I say my dad. He raised me. And he tells me that my baby brother's in the hospital, and he was only 21, and he got into a wreck. Wasn't wearing a seatbelt, went right through the window. They declared him brain dead.
Man.
Yeah, and that was just all like right after another. So life was really fucking slapping me in the face. Oh, my bad.
No,
But
you
life was really kicking my ass, and like sometimes it still hurts. I still cry about it, but feel like a lot of that helped mold where I am right now in life.
I think one of the things that for sure we've talked about is as painful as those things are, you're correct when you say that it shapes you into kind of where you're at now. It teaches, the adversity, just being like, you know what, if I went through that, then I can handle anything else. Yeah, anything else is gonna be. And it's about being consistent. And we talk about this all the time. Like, yo, you got to be consistent as an artist. I'll talk to so many art, and I'm sure y'all have gone through that stage where you didn't do anything. You just didn't drop no music, didn't do nothing, and then you're like, and then you come back out and you feel like it almost feels like you're starting over.
Yeah. Oh man, the worst part was feeling like I was starting over because I felt like, damn, I fell off. I was in so much of a high, despite the toxic situation I felt I was in. I was in so much of a high. I was like, boom, another hit, boom, another hit. I was banger, banger, banger. I was like, yes, you can't take this from me. And then, boom, life happened.
And it's like they say, like when it rains, it pours. Like it literally does, because and so something I always talk about as well is, look, I've been through not nothing similar, but a lot of the same things, and of course some of the things different, but I'm still here. I went through it. And you say, man, it's easy for you to say to just push through it. I'm like, it is because I done it,
Mm-hmm.
and you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm sure you've gone through some things, you know, and we know because you know we hear it in the music
Yeah.
that you've gone through it, and yet you're what guess what? We're all still here. You know,
Yeah.
that I think breeds for a better and a bigger applause platform. You know, for us to be able to. I'm sorry. Look, I was trying to be
Resume.
professional, but I was like, they gonna get me later on. Like, bro, you didn't say pause, bro. You said bigger. But you know, it's just about being consistent with it, man, and
But you got to go through it, bro. That's the only way to actually know, like, oh, okay, never mind, I can shake back. You know, this life should never, ever, ever, I don't
Never
care
stops.
who you are, never get easier either. We just get a little tougher,
Yeah.
and we know how to maneuver better. But
it's
in
crazy because one thing
situations-
I've learned about it, one thing I learned is that each time you're about to level up, you're gonna go through some bullshit. You're gonna go through something, and that's why. And so Mike and I were talking last night, right? And I told him, I said, look, bro, right now everything's good, but there's gonna be a time
Mhm.
during the year
Yeah.
where some shit's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, look, I just pray and hope that we're able to have
Right it
open
out.
form of communication. You know, I was like, look, if you ever have an issue or anything with a problem that I'm doing or someone else is doing, man, let's get it out in the open ASAP. Because I don't.
Yeah.
The more you let things linger on,
Mm-hmm.
More it grows and shit.
the more it grows. You know.
And the
Pause.
and,
I'll say it.
Thank you.
and what you said too is very important because I want to in the world that we live in now today, because you said prayer, um seeing that everything that's going on, especially in the music industry, and how much
Yeah.
down your throat they put certain things, I do want to say that having don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't know why I looked at Ike. Ike was like, bro, that's fine.
It's very important to have prayer, to be close to God. I'm not here to you know tell you what to do and how what you believe in or whatever, but at the end of the day, I know I've been through some things and God is what got me through it. I wasn't
Yeah.
by myself. I used to be very angry with God because even before all the events that recently happened to me, I was very depressed. Like in 2019, I was an alcoholic. I was drinking literally every day.
Call him out.
I would do the bare minimum. I wasn't giving. I'll admit I wasn't giving the love and attention that my babies needed. I just made sure they were clean, fed, and went to school, and that's all I did. And I was in a very dark place, and I used to be angry with God because I was like, "Why? Why would you put me here? I haven't done anything to get here." And going through that made me learn that I really wasn't by myself. I really was with God, and God is very important. So you should always trust in that. And I feel like just with that alone, you'll get where you need to go.
And this is all like very surreal to me right now because again, in our conversation that I had with Mike last night, we talked about God, we talked about faith, and I say, look, man, everything that's happening, I said, God is opening those doors for me. I'm just walking through it. And the doors open to me are open to you guys. And you know, and of course that's something we've talked about off camera, but you know, I say that to prove a point. Like God has a lot to do with what we have, man, and you know, we gonna start praying or something. We gonna start like having a little, you know,
No facts.
before we
Shit.
perform, TDM prayer
Yeah.
night, you know, or something.
I
like-
would not be
or like
opposed to
even at
that.
shows, like you know how they do sometimes when they go backstage and they'll like, hey, before the show starts,
We do
we're gonna
that.
pray, you know,
Yeah, we do that before I go on because I will tell you, I will shit you not. I get nervous still, and I've done hundreds of shows
Yeah.
already, and I get nervous still. I'm freaking human. You know what I mean? Before a video, before I record, I don't know. Y'all don't see it because y'all know I record in pitch black, but I'm
That's
just real
true.
quick like, hey God, hey. You know what? Have my back. You know, make me sound good. You know what I'm saying? Because you literally can't do nothing without God.
Man, that's awesome. That's dope. That is. I think that's an important part. I mean, we can sit here and talk about music and the industry and all that, but I think life conversations. You know, like when we go live and we talk. You know, yesterday was really
Yeah.
a bunch of foolishness. You know, but
Nah, but
you
we
know-
go on there and talk some real
yeah,
shit.
yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We do. I think that's what I think intrigues people about the platform that we provide. Because you know, we go live. A lot of people want to tap in, or even go live with us. E45 went live with us the other day, last week, And he just wouldn't stop talking. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, and Jay was like, yeah, I know what that's like. Shout out to E45, man. You know, he got on there and really just went on his, but it was cool. You know, we always try to give people a voice, man, and really show people that, man, we can really do this together. We don't have to be clicked up and, although, yes, we are TDM, but man, we work with who, if you like-minded like us, man, let's work together. Like, why not? Switching lanes a little bit. We got the album 221.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. When's
EP.
The EP? My bad.
221. I'm actually working really freaking hard to get it to drop by February 21st, 221. I'm really excited because I feel like a lot of it is just really. I put some songs together and I was like, hey, I listened to them and I was like, oh, this is kind of like a little bit of what I've been going through. And I mean, you can interpret it whatever way you want to, but the way I put it out, I was like, oof, got it off my chest, I'm ready for the next thing. But I'm actually going to go record tonight at Slow Life. Shout out to Slow Life.
Shout out to Slow.
I'm going to do 2 tracks off the EP there. And then I think we have like just hours. I got one with Ike, No Pressure. That one's going to be great.
Man.
Plan to do a video to that. We just got to we got to touch that one up. I got to touch like maybe 2 more up.
Yeah.
And it's done.
I stand by what I've been saying because from the music that I've heard, what you sent me, it's kind of cliche to say maybe because I think everybody always says, oh man, it's gonna be a classic, but this really I think gonna be a classic. I say it is because I've heard the music and this is some timeless shit. Like
Thank you.
The songs are amazing. I listen to this shit. I'll listen to I'll go in my files and listen to like what you send me. Like this shit is jamming. And then so that's February 21st.
February 21st.
The album is 221. EP is 221. She's like, get it right. I read your eyes.
221.
It's the EP, not an album, motherfucker.
You think people know you more as a rapper or R&B?
It's funny that you say that.
Because the project is so, I don't want to.
It is R&B. We can give him that. It's a lot more R&B. I started that way, believe it or not, back in 2020, and I know it wasn't that far back ago, but I didn't feel like R&B was like really taking off anywhere. I'd go to shows and do my R&B, and it was just like, okay, this is nice. And then you go and you see all the trap rappers, and they're like, oh yeah, and I'm like, all right. Yeah, true.
Well, that's what intrigued me about working with Ike. When I first met him, it was the fact that it was R&B. Like I'm growing up in the 90s, 80s, 90s. R&B was like a huge deal. Like, we had the best of it. Joe to see Boyz II Men, Brian McKnight, Whitney Houston. I mean, you can just, the list goes on.
And you can still play all of them.
And those you get a reaction. You could play that even at a party, some of those songs, it's dope. Yeah. So when you started doing so when I met you, you were doing rap. You were rapping, you were doing your thing, And then I started hearing, I think Like You was the first one I heard where you sung, and that's one of my favorite records. Like no cap,
That is always and will always, no matter, I can make a million songs, and Like You will always be my favorite song, only because of the emotion and everything that came from it to make that song. Because I've mentioned to you before, you already know, and the gang knows a little. When I made that song, I was actually coming out of all that real bad depressed phase, and we had just got into that new house that I told you I was living with my dad at the time. I had left my kid's dad, and I was actually really fucking sad the night that I made it. My kids were in bed, my house was clean, everyone was fed, everyone was fine, and I just got that wave of like, damn, I don't feel good. I don't feel good inside. And I remember I grabbed a bottle of wine like I would normally do, started drinking the wine, played the beat, and I literally cried as I wrote it. And I was just like, I was singing and singing in my room and just, na, 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 like you. And I took a situation that I had because if you listen to the song, if you heard the song, it sounds like like just hit my line and, I'll pull up type shit. But I went And I took a negative situation of somebody that I was dealing with, that I had been dealing with for a long time. And I got really heartbroken in that situation. So that was thrown into my whole depressive era. And I cried it out, wrote it out, and turned that negative situation into something that sounded really freaking happy. And a lot of people that I come across, a lot of people tell me Like You is their favorite song. They're like, it has good vibes, good energy. And I'm like, that's crazy you say that, because it came from a lot of negative energy.
But I think that's when some of the best music comes from, the actual pain of and the emotion behind it, because you can write the record, right? You can write it, and if there's no emotion behind it, people, I think, can tell when it's generic. But when you actually that's why I think like let's take Usher's Confessions album.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, when Jermaine Dupri wrote most of that record, most of that whole album, it was some stuff he was going through, like that he literally went through himself. So people can relate to that. You know, you got Confessions 1, then the part 2, and it's like, bro, he was really on some grimy shit. You know, like, and you thinking Usher, you know, and that was just such a classic, classic album. But it goes back to the emotion and the actual behind the pain and all that happened, and the emotion behind it. So, no, I'm glad that you cleared that up, as far as, because a lot of people tell me that, like, when they found out we were working together, they're like, man, if she really commits to the R&B shit, they're like, she's.
I know. I've heard a lot of they. I mean, I can spit. I'm not even gonna sit here and discredit myself, because I can rap. I can, you know. But the R&B stuff is my favorite, and R&B is so timeless. It doesn't matter when you make the R&B. The R&B hits no matter what, you know. And so now that I've been expanding myself more and meeting more people, and like how J-Vaz just said, you were at the wrong shows. That is very true. And I go and I pull up and I bust out. Sometimes I perform Like You, and they love that. Like, they love Like You, and they'll gravitate to when I started off with Like You, and they're like, oh, like, what? I love that. So R&B is where it's at. I'm definitely gonna still keep spitting though. Because I gotta show these guys how to do it.
Nah, that's dope, man. We definitely appreciate the talent. You know, we know you're talented. I mean, that's what initially drew me to you anyway, was the fact that you was up there rapping, and you know, you were on stage rocking it one deep. You know, and sometimes you see 20 people on stage and nobody's doing shit. Everybody's like, you got doing this, they ain't got no money. You know, man, I was at a show one time and I saw a dude toss up a gang of ones in the air, right?
Yeah.
And they actually had a crew that was picking them up at the bottom, right?
Dang.
And that was so funny to me.
Just throw fake money.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, just throw fake money if that's the case. I thought you was gonna say something.
No.
Mr. Co-host. Moving on. So 221. What about Soul Ties? Let's talk about that.
So Soul Ties is actually a redrop
Yeah.
of Project Bully that is no longer existent, unless you go and looked up the slow version, because they didn't take that down. But they took the original down. So when I got into my or doubling back to this, when I got into my first situation that I was in, he had a lot of the same, how you said, you know, people come and they go and they've done their dirt, whatever. He had the same story. Not that yours is a story, but he had the same kind of story, and kind of said, like, I've been effed over. He's like, so I'm not going to have you sign anything. He's like, but he's like, I want, you know, I'm a real word is bond person, and they claim to be the same, but whatever. And he said, he said to me, he's like, you promised to be loyal to the team. He's like, you come with me to your music. 'Cause I'm going to say this. My project was already done when I brought it to them. They just helped me market it, promote it, and get videos done for it. And even then, I put in for my videos. And I made I developed a great relationship with my videographer. Shout out AP the God.
Yeah, shout out to AP.
He does all my videos. But anyway, and he kind of was like, you come in, and if you decide you want to get out, you can keep your videos, but I keep the music. And I was like, all right, cool. Because I had no intentions of ever leaving. I was like, if you're a word is bond like I am, then yeah, this should go great. So when I left, I was so heated from that last show, that last situation where He calls me. I'm in the middle of back to school shopping, so I'm already stressed. I just got off of work. I'm pissed off already, and that situation was I was already pissed off from.
Yeah.
So he calls me. I'm at Walmart trying to shop, and we're talking about the situation. I was like, I don't know why you're talking to me. Like, if we're cool, I was like something. I was like, we need to talk about what happened, and he was like, it. Fast forward, this conversation ended with, okay, well, what about your music? And I was like, literally, my words on the phone was, keep that shit. I don't want it. Keep it. And that was my music. All the studio time that I put in, all the hard work, all the writing, the late nights staying up writing that shit. I was willing to let them keep that just so that people would hear my music, because I make music because, one, I vent my emotions on it. That's how I tell my emotions, and I get it off my chest. And then, two, people can relate to that. I did a show like in San Antonio 2 summers ago, and this girl stopped me in the restroom and was like, "You're TypeShyt, Jazzy, right?" Mind you, it's not Jazzy anymore; it's just TypeShyt. And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, yeah. I was like, that's me. She's like, and she started crying in the restroom. She's like, I just want you to know that your music, it really does something for me, and I'm a big fan of yours. And I came to this show just because I heard you were coming out here, and that shit really touched me. And that's the reason, really, I make the music. So when they told me, well, what about your music? I was like, keep that shit. And then try to backdoor with, okay, well, what about the videos? You told me I could keep that shit, so no. Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you. But yeah. It's a redrop. Soul Ties is a redrop. It's not every single song. It's most of the songs. I took some of the features out. Like Bully doesn't have the feature it originally had. I put on a different version with me on it.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I'm just gonna put out everyone's favorite songs, because people kept asking me, "Are you gonna redrop? Are you gonna redrop? Can you put the songs back out? And it's crazy because this is how I knew people actually fucked with TypeShyt, was because I didn't even know that they took it down. People, I was at work at my desk, and I had like 3 or 4 people text me, "Hey, what's up with this?" and send me a screenshot of my project, and it was like, you know how it's there but it's all faded, like it's not there anymore. And I was like, what? And I talked to them. They're like, "Oh, well, I just figured you'd want to, upload your own music." I was like, you did that shit on purpose. You did that shit on purpose because you ran all that shit for me.
Yeah, because Bully and OK were 2 of my favorite records, and I know they were 2 of the singles that y'all pushed, that you were pushing, because there was videos and everything to it.
And I do have R&B on that one too.
Yeah.
By the way.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to a female artist in this industry, in a male dominated industry?
For females, trust your gut always. Really, really just trust yourself and trust the people that you put around you, because at the end of the day, if you really look at it, being a female in this industry, it is really hard, especially if you're a female like myself. And I know a lot of females like me that are in the industry. They don't showcase, sex. And we all know, sex sells.
Yeah.
But don't sell yourself out, basically. Don't sell yourself out because everyone else is doing it. I've seen some girls, they have really good stage presence, really good music, really good. And I'm not going to call nobody out like that. But I've seen them and I've followed them and I've loved them as an artist. And then I see them, they'll showcase the sex. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but I don't get it. And I feel like it is harder because you're a female and people want to see that if you're a female. But I feel like we have every right to show up as ourselves. And because I'm not finna sit. I wouldn't go make money as a stripper, because I'm not finna do that. As much as I have to take care of my kids, I'm not going to do that. So why would I do that with my craft, with something that I take that serious,
That to me just says like you don't respect the craft or yourself. It's just like with anything else. Like if you don't invest in yourself either, you don't care about what you do and things like that. So.
And I don't say all of that like to knock the girls that are doing that.
Yeah,
because if it works for them, girl, get it. Go get it. It works for you, But I know, not everyone is that way. Not everyone is that type of artist. And if you're not, don't sell yourself out, girl.
Different strokes for different folks.
Facts.
They say that, what you said, sex sells, but they say real connects.
You
don't have to. You're not everybody gonna like you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to sell yourself out to get that crowd that most likely gonna fucking fade off.
they're gonna
anyways.
see the next one.
Well, that's like
Yeah.
that's like with the gimmicky shit, you know, when you do the
Yeah.
gimmicks and you do the like,
trolling and all that shit.
yeah, you might get all the attention and the traffic in the beginning, but
Mhm.
that eventually fades away because it's not real. But when
Mm-hmm.
you develop the actual connection with the audience or the general public, yeah, they're gonna
They want to stay connected.
now you got a fan for life as opposed to a fan for the moment. Because the
Yeah.
minute you stop undressing and putting your clothes back on, and now you're no longer doing that. Oh well, I'm done.
What am I watching
Yeah,
this
well,
for? Yeah.
yeah. Let me move on to the next one. You know,
Yeah.
so I get it.
Yeah, nah. So I agree with that. Never, I mean, I'm not a female, but I agree with what you're saying, right? Like
You don't say.
But nah, yeah, stay true to you, man, because that shit
Thanks.
it may not get you to that level that you want to be on, but it's always gonna have you where you need to be on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Again, thank you, Miss TypeShyt, for. I still feel weird saying that. I know. Who told me that? They're like, man, I feel weird saying that. Like, no, that's what she goes by. You know. She's
I
like,
can't
Yeah.
even say it anymore in my normal like day to day.
Without hearing me in the
without,
background.
yeah,
type
without
shit.
like, damn, you know, she be like, yeah, y'all call me? Like, no, we're just saying type shit. Yeah.
I do that too. Like everybody will be talking, have a cut, and they'll be like, "Yeah, type shit," because it's still lingo, right? So like, "Yeah, type shit," and then you hear me out of nowhere in the background, type shit.
Well, I want to thank you for coming and you know, giving us a few minutes of your time just to talk. I know we did this briefly at the at one of the events at the Ride with My Dogs thing out when
Which
we were
was
outside.
Very great. I had fun there.
Yeah.
I had lots of fun.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody who was out there. Shout out to you. Guys, I'm telling you, go tap in with her music. Go subscribe to the channel.
fact,
Follow
what
her
time
on
is it?
Instagram. The video dropped. I got the notification.
Yeah, it dropped 5 minutes ago. Y'all better be going to subscribe to that.
Yeah, go run them numbers up, man. Go subscribe to the channel.
And it's just gonna be on YouTube. It ain't nothing. I'm not putting it out as nothing. I was just feeling myself. It's a YouTube video. That's it. Y'all not gonna get it streaming. So don't ask me, please.
You know it's coming though.
I know. When are you gonna drop that?
Like, no, you should drop it. You know?
Yeah.
But again, thank you to you both, man. Ike for sitting in and guest co-hosting. You know, he's gonna have his podcast pretty soon. I don't know. Your baby mama's favorite singer, or baby mama's favorite podcaster.
Baby mama's favorite everything.
Yeah. So again, I wish you nothing but the best, much success, and love and blessings. And you know, we're behind you all the way. You know, as a team and just as a collective. You know, I love what we have going on. Honestly, like I don't think I've been as excited as I've been in a long time. You know, I
Same.
felt it before, and then but it wasn't the way it is now. It's like it's different. So it's definitely appreciated that we can
The
come
right
together.
way.
Yeah, the right way.
Everybody
We always say that.
communicating, everybody on the same page.
Yeah, we
everybody
understand.
excited for each other.
Yeah.
You feel cool, man.
Yeah,
Because I've been hanging around with you almost
going
2
on
years?
2 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I ain't never felt it.
He used to come to every TDM talk and just sit in the background while we would film and just sit there and just kind of just soak up game. And you know, we'd introduce him to everybody. You know, and that was one of the things that we did was like make sure that we. I said, well, let me see if he's really about wanting to do this. You know, yeah, pull up. He asked if he could pull up. I said, yeah, come on. So you know, I do my little tests sometimes. You know, see where y'all at. But again, man, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.
Yes, sir.
We'll put all the links in the description to where you can find and listen to TypeShyt's music, watch her videos, the whole nine. And Amazing Ike will be in the description as well as a guest co-host. So, man, make sure you follow the whole team. Google Them Damn Mexicans. You'll find us everywhere. Thank you again to everybody who watches in the H all over the United States, the UK, and Canada. Thank you guys for tuning in. And on that note, we are Them Damn Mexicans.
Man.
Say